Trend? I don't think so. Yeah, this was where we were switching back to we were switching to a new location. We got some mail. What's new? Oh, this is new. We got something from Lukaku.
Are you really okay with yesterday's exorcism? I feel like a more traditional ceremony would have been better. I'm worried something might happen to you because my exorcism wasn't strong enough. It bothers me so much. I can't sleep at night. P.S. Because of that, I couldn't do more than 3 practice swings with Samidari.
Samidari? What if we click exorcism? Wasn't bad, just a little clumsy. You're a servant of the gods. You need to project dignity and confidence. Work on it. What would a traditional ceremony entail? Nah, not that one. Don't worry, thanks to your exorcism, my arm has been quite quiet for a while. Still, there's no telling what could set it off if I'm forced to do battle again. Let's just pray that the organization's assassins don't find me. I like this exorcism one. So hot. Hey, yes it is. I am boiling. I was at university all morning. As I returned to Akiba, the heat is now becoming unbearable. I grab an iced coffee at the bakery inside Yodobashi to quench my thirst. While I'm at it, I guess I'll check @channel on my phone. I most frequent the occult board, the future technology board, and sometimes the physics board. I search for threads on the mass disappearance phenomenon or Makis Kurisu's stabbing. Turn up nothing. So were these hallucinations after all? When I peek at the occult board, I find posts in multiple threads from someone claiming to be John Titor. Wait, Titor's back? Oh shit. John Titor appeared on an American BBS 10 years ago claiming to be a time traveler. We know this. I'll read the tip though. Tips list. An American computer company. Oh, IBN instead of IBM. Not only do they develop and sell hardware and software, they also offer service and consultation to enterprises. In recent years, they have made the latter the main focus. IBM invented floppy disks and hard disk drives. They're so versatile. He claimed to have traveled from the year 2036 in order to obtain an old computer, the IBM 5100. His claims started quite a storm amongst the BBS denizens. Yeah, this actually happened. It wasn't IBM. Or it was IBM, not IBN, obviously. But this actually happened. And when I say actually, I do not mean an actual time traveler. I mean somebody posting that they were one. Although I do believe that time travel could be possible, I don't have a thought in my mind about it being practical and someone would be able to travel to now, because there is no time travel yet. If there is going to be time travel, it's going to be, in my head, I believe that it would be something akin to, here is the travel point, Alpha, where time travel has been created. And you can now travel anywhere within Alpha, but you cannot travel pre-time travel, because that would break time. That's my thought. What? The start of the Iraq War and the spread of Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, for example. To prove he was from the future, he explained the principles behind his time machine and provided pictures of its operation manual. But after about 4 months, he disappeared without ever revealing his identity. What do you mean? His identity was John Titor. At one point, his predictions gained popularity even in Japan. Yes, he certainly did get some things right. It's probably pretty easy to guess certain things, though. And I mean, so it's Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Another name for bovine spongiform encephalopathy. Oh, it's mad cow, okay. Only used in case of human infection. Early symptoms include memory loss, abnormal movements, personality changes, dementia, and muscle stiffness. In severe cases, the patient may waste away for 1 to 2 years before dying. Jesus. I cannot speak today. On the other hand, he missed several others. Some of his posts contradicted each other, too. That's why, to this day, most people doubt his authenticity as a time traveler. The other idea would be that you are traveling not through time, but through different realities that happen to be at different states in time. And that would account for why certain things that he professed would be wrong, while others would be correct. His existence in our timeline would be enough of a catalyst to change certain events. And how he could be wrong about things because he has now pushed them in a wrong direction and they no longer happen. Or happen differently. So after 10 years of silence, that same John Titor is now on a Japanese BBS? I call baloney. Ridiculous. It's obviously a troll. Do I really need to read what a troll is? On the internet to post controversial opinions or false information for the purpose of provoking a reaction. Yeah. There's far too many of those these days. I'm just looking at myself here because the fact that there's 3. I promise you there's 3. But the shadows is making it look like there's 5 of me. Brr. First of all, John Titor is American, yet now he's posting on @channel in Japanese. I mean, somebody could learn Japanese. Let's take a look at his posts. New tip, CERN. I don't expect you to believe that I came from the year 2036. I see that everyone would like to know more about my time machine. Time travel technology was developed by CERN. They completed the first time machine in 2034. More details on the time machine. Can I click on these? No. CERN has a monopoly on time machines. Not even the most powerful nations on Earth can acquire one, to say nothing of private citizens. CERN used their time machine for power. By 2036, the world has become a dystopia. There is no war, no conflict. However, that is a false peace founded on the complete eradication of liberty. What does LOL mean? Why did you come to this time? Was the Akiba satellite crash your doing? Wait guys, Titor-san doesn't understand @channel lingo. Let's keep it simple, okay? If you know what I mean. Get a trip code, asshole. Can I go back? No? Came here to change my present. In other words, your future. My mission is to destroy CERN's dystopia and restore freedom to the world. This is a wonderful time you're living in. Everyone is free. But you will lose it all in 20 short years. It's all vitally important that you understand what the future has in store. You said only CERN has time machines. You have a time machine. That must mean you're working for CERN. Therefore, your goal can't be to destroy CERN's dystopia. You're a fraud. QED. What's a dystopia? This person's an idiot. How can CERN take over the world in 20 years? Look at the Middle East. You've been reading too much manga if you think you can get those guys to stop killing each other. Who asked you to change the future? You trying to play God? If they're promising world peace, then I, for one, welcome our new CERN overlords. These are trolls. These are all idiots. My time machine is a prototype reverse engineered from stolen CERN tech. Compared to their time machine, its capabilities are quite limited. In 2036, the world is ruled by a single, all-powerful governing body. The world government. They control every aspect of our lives, deciding what we will eat, where we will live, and whom we will marry. There is no privacy and no choice. Anybody who dares oppose them is eliminated. There are no trials. In movies and stuff, small changes to the past cause huge changes to the future. You've already changed the present by coming here. What happens if you make unexpected changes to the future? implying CERN rules the world. Do you even know what CERN is? Opposite troll. So if we find his dad and kill him, then this time traveler will never be born, and we won't have to listen to his bullshit, am I right? I want to know if you can meet your past self. Can you self-cest? Pretty sure that's still just masturbation. You're talking about the so-called grandfather paradox. That was debunked. This world line has a divergence of 0.571024% compared to the world line I came from. Killing my father would alter divergence, creating a world line where my father is dead. However, it would not erase this world line. I would go on existing. CERN is a CERN is a particle physics. Jason crackers. Focus. Focus on the words. You can do this. CERN is a particle physics research institution. That hasn't changed in 2036. It is possible to meet yourself. The prevailing theory in my time is that nothing would happen. I, however, haven't met my past self. If you're really a time traveler, then fucking prove it. Post time machine pics or GTFO. The many worlds interpretation. Whoa, slow down, bro. Research institution taking over the world. Lol, what? Curry Gohan and Kamehameha. That's what I was trying to click on before. They're back with a vengeance. I don't feel the need to prove what I say I am. I am only posting these messages on a whim. My mission comes first. What are world lines? Can you meet yourself from another world line? What happens if you do? You idiot. That's what he explained. Late reply, a trip code is a way to identify posters, but hashtag password after your name. World lines are like an infinite number of rivers flowing in parallel. Along the way, they are constantly branching out and into new world lines. This is called divergence. For example, whether or not you post on this message board has practically no effect on this world line's divergence. But if you were murdered, let's say, then divergence would change. However, it would only change by about 0.000002%, if that. A single human being's death is not terribly significant on a global scale. Wars, disasters, acts of terrorism, and other events that have caused widespread death and destruction have a much greater effect. Thanks for telling me about trip codes. I'll make sure to use this one from now on. I'm starting to get tired, so let's pick this up again tomorrow. It's been fun talking to everybody. So now I can come to the channels as well. Looks like they've already made an archive of these threads. Of course, there have been sites dedicated to John Teeter for years now. This post closely resembles what the original Teeter wrote 10 years ago. I've read one of the books on Teeter, that's how I know. I have not, but I've listened to podcasts about Teeter. This new Teeter is clearly an imposter. There are many Teeter fanatics on @channel. He's not exactly a household name in Japan, but I doubt anyone would fall for this level of trolling. As I continue to read, however, I find the response the opposite of what I expected. Everyone is accepting this time travel as if this were his first appearance. Nobody has even mentioned his appearance 10 years ago. Finding this strange, I try posting a retort, but everyone ignores me. What the hell? You can figure this out if you do a little research, people. There's the original John Teeter thread archive in English, and plenty of Teeter blogs in Japanese. I enter John Teeter's name in a search engine. Turns up nothing, does it? Oh, 12 matches. Wait, only 12? Moreover, all 12 are about the current Teeter's postings on @channel. The timeline has been altered. Can't find a single trace of the Teeter from 10 years ago. Bizarre. This just can't be. I searched for information on Teeter a few years ago. Back then, I got tens of thousands of hits. Is this search engine filtered? Try searching on another site just to make sure, but it gives the same result. What is this madness? Feels like I've stumbled into another plane of reality. Another world line, you might say. Could this be another organization conspiracy? These past 2 days I've been surrounded by nothing but chaos and confusion. I'll call Daru. He'll know about Tidor for sure. After all, I've talked to him about Tidor before. I only vaguely remember the details of that conversation. But I'm positive the conversation happened. By the time I dig my phone out of my bag, I no longer feel like making the call. Instead, I send him an email on the way back to the lab. He replies with his location. By May Queen, he means May Queen plus Nyan squared, a maid cafe. Daru is a regular there. Apparently 3D cat maids are his thing too. Some people, man. Type of cafe where the waitresses wear maid uniforms, usually in the French maid style. They usually call their customers master. Patrons can talk to the waitresses and play games with them. But ultimately, maid cafes are restaurants, not bordellos. Of course, it falls under otaku, because anybody that goes in there would be one. I know what a dystopia is. We don't have to read all these. So this is a fictional depiction of CERN, C-E-R-N, right? I think that's the same idea. I think it's C-E-R-N. Might just be C-R-N. May Queen is only a 3-minute walk from the lab. Coming from Kuramebashi Dori, take a left at Sumakoi Saka. Oh my gosh, these words. I know they're not English. Sumakoi Saka crossing, and you'll find it. I think we need to do a little clip show just of me fucking trying to pronounce these words. It's usually busy in Akiba during summer break, but now it's even busier because of the Radikan incident. The area was blocked off yesterday, but it doesn't look like they would keep the main road closed for 2 days straight. I haven't seen a single police officer today. I think I should just do one on the fact that I can't seem to read a fucking word today. The Radicon building still seems off limits. The entrance is shuttered and sealed with yellow police tape.
We're now here in Akihabara, and a day after the unexplained satellite crash. The police barricade has been lifted, and a tremendous number of people have gathered in front of the station. The satellite's origin is still under investigation. We're told that it can't be removed until the authorities have more information. According to the police, the satellite does not appear to be dangerous. However, tourists and local business owners have raised concerns.
The media has dozens of cameras outside of the police line, and there are nearly twice as many onlookers as reporters, enough to fill the entire street with people. Everyone's aiming their phone cameras at the satellite-like object. So many people. Living in Akiba, you get used to crowds and big events, but a gathering of this size is still unusual. I wonder when they'll get rid of that thing. I hope it doesn't explode or something. Satellites typically don't have a lot of explosive material on them, to my knowledge. They've been letting people back into the area, so I guess there's no danger. Still, considering its unknown origin, I'm surprised there isn't more security. Doujinshi. Today, like always, otaku are shopping for doujinshi. Import games, electronics, or whatever strikes their fancy. Fan-created amateur manga, which are often, but not always, adult in nature. These are sold at special doujinshi events, the biggest of which is the twice annual comic giga market known as Kamima. Kamima! Sounds right, doesn't it? Aside from the scene at Radicon, it's the same as any other day. But I still don't understand what I saw yesterday. I've half accepted that the mass disappearance was just my imagination. Maybe I've become unable to distinguish reality from fantasy, like the media likes to say about teenagers these days. Hit the nail right on the fucking head with that one, didn't you? I would like to point out that you believe you are against something called the organization and talk to someone on a phone that is off. You are delusional. With that thought in mind, I return my gaze to the street. Hello there. In front of me stands a woman, holding her phone in front of her face. She took a photo of you. She took a fucking photo of you. Where's the... I can't open this one yet. She took a picture. Her phone was clearly pointed at me. Tried to cover my face, but not quickly enough. Turned around just to make sure she wasn't pointing at someone behind me, but that doesn't seem to be the case. She's still staring at her phone. Without even glancing at me, she turns around and points her phone at some other pedestrian. Maybe she's just taking photos of everyone at the scene and not just me. But still, I need to have a word with her. The organization is after me, so I can't risk that photo getting out. Wait. Probably didn't need to repeat that one. Lady. She doesn't turn around. Is she so engrossed in her photography that she doesn't even notice me? God, look at this fucking phone. Or did she not catch my magnificent native level English? Hey! You with the phone camera. Wait, please. She turns back, finally noticing me. Senpai! And of course her phone turns with her. Of course it would. Hey, no pictures. Are you with the organization? Voyeur. I mean, she is breaking a lot of privacy laws here, although I don't know what they're like in Japan. My guess would be similar. She completely ignores my objection. And then she goes back to looking at her phone. Answer my question. I have an item in my inventory. Does that pop up on stream? No. If she is, then I may have to take suitable measures. Possible organization spot. Your name, lady, has changed several times in the last 3 minutes. You're not? Probably not. Even so, I can't let you keep that picture. The organization will stop at nothing to find my whereabouts, and they'll kill anyone who gets in their way. I need you to delete that picture immediately. Say something to me. Is she even listening? Sorry. Wow, she finally speaks. Just a whisper. But it's something. Lady who apologized out of nowhere. If I upset you... Well, now that's not really an apology anymore, is it? I'm sorry if I upset you. I guess it kind of is. We'll see what she says next. She lowers her head slightly in a bow. Or at least I think it's a bow. She's been looking down all this time, so I can't really tell. Before you apologize, I need you to delete that photo.
I was shooting the scenery.
Fingers dance across her phone's keys with impressive speed, exactly the opposite of her annoyingly slow speech pattern. The scenery? You're a tourist? Or is she one of the people who came to see the satellite? In that case, why did she take a picture of me? You are scenery, Rentaro. That's what you are to her. It's proof of where I was today. Lady ignoring me and apparently sightseeing in Akihabara. I hope we never learn this person's name and it just keeps growing like this and changing each time. You're a strange lady. Yep. Oh no, how dare you ruin it.
Kiryu Moeka. My name?
Moeka? Guess she's introducing herself. That's nice, but I just want to delete that photo.
I have a question for you. May I?
First, the photo. Delete it. Get it out of here.
There's an urban legend in Akihabara. Have you heard of it?
An urban legend? What is she talking about? Don't tell me. There's a brilliant but insane mad scientist lurking in Akihabara. And now that brilliant but insane mad scientist is the target of every assassin in the underworld. You delusional prick. Gah! I've remained in this town for far too long. I'll need to make plans. Akihabara. You weren't such a bad town, I'm glad.
The Phantom Retro PC.
What the fuck? Retro PC? She replies with a nod. Or something like a nod. Fuck is in my eye?
They say there's one in Akihabara.
Oh? Nothing about a mad scientist. How disappointing. I'm really... look at that. At any rate, this is the first I've heard about a Phantom Retro PC. Retro PC? You mean like a 98? Well, let's see what we have to hear. Japanese PC series sold from the mid-1980s to the mid-1990s. It sold so well that at one point it was called the National Computer. Interesting. It's the first model that comes to mind. But are 98s really that hard to find? She shakes her head slightly. Something like a shake.
No, this.
She turns her phone towards me. The screen shows an oddly shaped computer. It's hard to tell since the picture's monochrome, but it looks some kind of PC. Looks kind of familiar.
An IBM 5100.
Oh. It's John Teeter. That's the computer John Teeter tried to get. Her fingers twitch, I think.
You've seen one?
No, I've only heard the name. Coincidence? No. This could be the choice of Steins Gate.
Know anyone who might know?
Daru probably knows more about it. He's my favorite right arm. Well, your actual right arm's gonna be a little disappointed in that. Super hacker capable of breaking into even MI6's mainframe. I don't think anybody knows that much information. The MI6 part is a slight exaggeration. If that ever did happen, Men in Black would break down our door and take us away. But the super hacker part is true. The depth of his computer knowledge is uncanny. Speaking of Daru, I'm supposed to meet him at May Queen. I don't have time to stand and chat with some crazy lady I don't know. But she could be John Titor. You have to. Well, I'm off, lady. Media scrum in moderation. What? I gotta look up this one. During news stories with high public interest, reporters sometimes latch onto persons of interest, bombarding them with questions, prying into their lives, and even camping outside their houses. These activities are a serious invasion of privacy and can inflict mental and emotional stress on the subject. I have never heard this term before. That makes perfect sense. The fuck happened there? Oh, she grabbed your sleeve. Okay. Oh, she's closer. What are you doing?
Your email, please.
What are you after? The super hacker. I guess she wants to hear Daru's story. It's my fault for mentioning him. Yeah, it fucking is. Well, I'm meeting up with Daru, so why don't I just take her along? No, wait a second. This could be a devious trap. Maybe she's really a spy sent to kidnap Daru. The music that I'm hearing right now reminds me of the Final Fantasy IX music when they do a silly event. Also Final Fantasy V. Actually, maybe primarily Final Fantasy V. I've played too much Final Fantasy, okay? I'm defenseless without him. My only other ally is Mayuri, whose skills amount to costume design. Recruiter. I refuse. I'll never give up Daru. I slip past her and start walking faster. You know she could probably follow you, right? Probably keep up. Seems like a easy thing. I glance back. Is she following you? Of course she is. Of course she is. What? I pick up the pace. She's still chasing. You're a dummy. Stop following me. Unperturbed, she shows me her phone again. On the screen is the picture of me that she took. That is the best.
Tell me, and I'll delete it.
You dare blackmail me? Who do you work for? It's the beads. I attempt to glare her into submission, but her eyes are already lowered. My glare is ineffective. It's no use. She hesitates for a second.
Work part-time at Arc Rewrite.
What's that?
An editorial company here in Akihabara.
One of those companies that writes articles for magazines. Of course. And this gloomy lady. Is this gloomy lady really fit for that kind of work? Yes. Yes, she is. Wait. You plan on publishing my picture without permission, don't you? The mad scientist of Akiba unveiled. I can see the headlines now. That's all the organization will need to turn Akiba into a sea of blood. No, I must avoid that gruesome outcome at all costs. I have no choice. I don't think a mad scientist would really care. You're mad, after all. Very well. I accept your terms. At any rate, as long as she has that photo, I have no way of knowing how it might be used. I pull up my email address and show it to her. Looking back and forth from my phone to hers, she enters my info with terrifying speed. Of course. This woman is an Esper. She's straight out of Final Fantasy. General term for humans who possess supernatural powers. Common powers include telepathy, telekinesis, and precognition, though more exotic powers exist. It is rumored that some espers even possess the ability to reshape reality with pure force of will. Derives from the term ESP, which stands for extrasensory perception. How did I never make that fucking connection before? Esper. Holy shit. I dub her power Shining Finger. Please don't. Don't ever refer to anybody's power as Shining Finger. It just sounds wrong. Her magical thumb types cursed emails at 255 characters per minute. Whoever receives one dies. This is weird. At least we're not in an uncomfortable location like we were 2 weeks ago, right? She's done typing my address. Took 5 seconds.
Name?
Huyin Kyoma, mad scientist. How is it spelled? Ho for Phoenix. Holy shit! I'm learning so much. Ho is Phoenix. I didn't realize that was the connection with the Pokemon. Phoenix, Horrible Truth Phoenix. That's your name that you've given yourself. I agree, Moeka. What is that? What is that name? Why did you choose? She asked you how it's how it's spelled, and you told her what it means, you dumb shit. Explaining the in part of Huin would take too long, so I left it out. What is your actual reason for in, then? What is in Japanese? Translation to Google. Well, what I'm getting from Google Translate is that in responds with in with 2 N's, like a hospice. Pretty sure that's not what you're going for. Maybe I'm wrong. Gosh, that's fucking gross. Apologies. Roger posted a picture of his PC's innards in chat. And oh my word. Oh my word. She enters my name with her head tilted to the side. Like this? Oh, Yoma. The hell is this? Are you mocking me? She lowers her head a little more, an apologetic bow, I guess. Just hand me your phone, I'll enter it. She shakes her head, clutching her phone with both hands as if to protect it from me. Like a spoiled child who can't let go of a toy, she shields it from me with all her might. What does she think I'm going to do? Her reaction is a little depressing. Anyway, she's obviously not going to hand her phone over, so I ask for her address instead. I'll send her a blank mail. She told me her name a few minutes ago, but I forgot it already, so I entered her as Shining Finger. You ridiculous human being, Rintaro. What am I doing standing here in the middle of the street? Let's hurry up and send her a blank email. I don't need to type anything. It's just to give her my name. I already put her in my contacts to send a blank email to Shining Finger. She frowns while looking at her phone. Then she glances my way. I can feel those eyes clearly saying, hurry up, but I'm hesitant. Not sure if it's a good idea to give her my true name. Regardless of how long I hesitate, I don't think that she'll let me go until I send her the email. She sure is persistent. We exchange a few words and then I get away from her as fast as I can.